You're listening to Olive Sessionz Unfiltered with Shekiz.
Thank you so much for doing this.
You're welcome, man.
So I call you Godwin.
Yeah.
But I don't know, over the years, I've known you since 2012. Do you realize that? I knew the first time I knew you was in 2012. And the first name we used to call you was Awojobi, but I don't want to murder your name. So just tell me, what's your full name? What do we call you? If I need to know anything I don't know about you, because I know quite a lot about you. So just tell me a few things about you.
Well, you're right. My surname is Awojobi. That's the correct pronunciation.
Rubbish.
So my first name is Godwin. Middle name is Oluyemi. And those were the names my parents named me.
By the way, I've met
gave me, but I gave myself a new name.
Oh.
So I coined something out of what my parents named me, which is Goddy and Wayne. So when you look at Godwin, at home I'm being called Goddy. And you're looking for something good, Goddy Wayne. So instead of Godwin, you say Goddy Wayne. So some people call you Goddy, some people call you Wayne.
Are people getting ideas now? Nice.
That's the newfound name for myself. I met you first in 2012. I was just on the beats.
And I was just entering university, and you were part of the people that really inspired me. I hope I can say much about it in this podcast, because, brother, you are someone that has really, really, impacted my life in a very fantastic way. Apart from school, came out of school, I came to Lagos, and for some very strange, wonderful way, I got in contact with you again. And Isaac, shout out to that big head boy, Isaac. And it's been wonderful getting to know someone that is focused. I'm going to allow you talk, but I just want everybody to know that this guy is a wonderful human being. He's a gentleman in the real sense of, okay, this person is a gentleman. He's focused. And you're married. You just recently got married.
Yeah, last year.
So how's it been? For a few of us that have not, entered the game yet.
By choice.
I won't say anything. So continue. So how's it been?
Well, I think marriage is also by choice. You can decide to be 50 and still remain single. And you can be 20 and decide to be married.
I see.
So my ideology of marriage and what led me into marriage, people have different reasons for doing things.
Okay.
A lot of people get married because you're of age, you should have a wife. You're of age, you should have a husband. But there is a level you get to in life, and you know that this I can't do alone by myself. I need someone, I need a friend, I need a partner, and so on. And forget whatever the society is defining about what marriage is or what marriage should look like. It's by choice. Just the same way you remain single.
I like something you said, which is really good, which is one of the fundamental reasons for marriage is to find someone that would bring not just companionship, but complementary strength.
Yes.
If I'm getting what you're saying.
Yeah.
Someone that, okay, you cannot do it alone. You're looking for not someone that will suck you dry or make the little one that you've had to be reduced, but someone that would add value to what you already have, and both of you coming together. I might get sure. Yeah, both of you coming together can, create something that will be better. Yeah. Just like the Bible says, one will chase 1,000, but see the multiplying effect of two. Put 10,000 from 1 to 10,000 to now show you
that your analogy. Let me not counter it a bit. If one will chase 1,000, two will chase 10,000, and the same Bible will tell you 1,000 will fall by your right, 10,000. If 11,000 people fall beside you, you don't fight.
Don't take church advice from me.
But of course, it's a promise of God that even when every evil is happening around you, it will not come near you.
No, I get you.
So when you are chasing 1,000, you be sure that you count it that it's 1,000 you are chasing and not 900. But if you are chasing 900, the Bible says 1,000. If you are looking for someone to chase 10,000, they will come out
The wise man.
400 from you if you are not careful.
Okay, so
Yeah.
but the point I'm really making from all this is the fact that marriage is not just for the I'm not saying the whole sex and everything is important, right? But there is a real purpose.
Of marriage, yeah.
Yeah, I can see from just a few things you've said, you are on your path, you know what you were doing. Then you notice that it was not good for you to you could not do it on alone. You
Yeah.
needed someone to, bring in that space. So how has it been? Because I interact with a lot of men and there are a lot of fears in terms of the society we live in, settling down, the financial constraint, and most of the times even this financial constraint and everything, all the effort you put in, there's no guarantee that you guys will even stay married.
Yeah.
So how did how did you navigate all those things in your head?
Well, before I got married, and thank God I'm happily married.
I know your wife.
So far, so good.
Shout out to your wife. She's my sister. She's an amazing woman being.
Yeah. I'm a Christian. I believe in God, and I would advise anyone who wants to go into the journey of marriage. Marriage is actually a journey. You get to know each other every day, discover new things about each other. You guys are coming from different backgrounds, and it takes intentionality for you to really want to remain married. A lot of things will happen that we want to break you, but it's by choice. Like I said, marriage is by choice. You choose to stay, you choose to fight it head on, or you choose to go your separate ways.
So that means it doesn't mean that there's not been challenges, but it takes intentionality.
Find me those couple that said they've not had marital challenges. I've only been married for a year plus, and it's been good. There's been ups and there's been downs. There's been highs and lows. So, but through it all, God has been faithful.
All right, guys, let's take a moment to thank our sponsors for today's episode, Olive Sessionz Unfiltered. They are your very, very most trusted partners when it comes to everything audio solutions for your commercial gigs, for your music production, as if you're an artist, for your movie production, for your audio composition, mixing, mastering, editing, everything music production. These guys, they got you covered. So hit them up on their email address, Kizcity Imaginations at gmail.com. You can see their phone numbers on the screen. Just call them up, tell them we sent you, and they'll give you a 10% discount on all your orders. All right, Kizcity Audio, the best people you can ever get for audio, anytime, any day, around the world. All right, so thank you Kizcity for sponsoring this video. Thank you so much, guys. So welcome back, everybody. So as I was saying, I've been really particular about how it is for the man. What are the things you have to consider in terms of putting things in place, putting steps and systems in place in order to settle down. You understand? So I want to hear your own perspective. Practically, what are the things that you set aside for yourself financially? What were the personal disciplines you gave yourself? Say, oh, see, I'm settling down. I'm ready to settle down. These are the things I need to do. These are the things I need to stop doing in order to. I'm going to be a man. I'm going to be a father very soon. Obviously, you're a father now to a very beautiful, adorable, baby girl. She's my first beautiful baby girl. So, but what are the things that that formed that process for you that you can say, oh, now, thank God, so far, this is how I've been able to walk through it.
Okay. I don't think there is one answer that or one key opens all the doors when it comes to knowing who you want to marry or how to find who to marry. I will tell you, when you find who you will marry, somehow your instinct, something triggers in your mind. How do I put this? Those who have found their life partners, correctly would tell you that there's just that knowing inside of you for you to
To know that this
know
person
that
is
this
your
person is actually for me.
okay.
In fact, there could be a lot of red flags, but there's that thing telling you inside of you that I just know I'm so convinced. Outside of that, I don't want to sound too mystical in this um, area because a lot of people are looking up to that aspect. Like
What do you mean? Which one is the like you now? I don't understand. I'm not okay. Explain what do you mean by mystical, man. I don't get what
I
you
don't understand too spiritual
Oh,
or too religious about this
okay.
topic. But yeah, if you want to make friends with someone, something tells you, oh, this person can be my friend. So what are the criteria? The criteria for choosing your friends may not exactly be my friends.
Of course.
So I have a different circle of friends. You have yours. So the parameters for you choosing, oh, this friend is more special to me than this other one. So a similar criteria is what you will use to find your wife.
Oh, really?
And
So that means friendship is important.
it's very important.
Okay.
For those who don't exactly have friends, there is something making them not to have friends. At least you have someone you are acquainted to. You are not your family member, maybe not exactly your business partner or something. There's a criteria for you to know that I can be friends with this person. Oh, this person, I just like this person. I don't know why, but before you know it, you've been friends 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. And similar criteria is what you would likely use, or those criteria would likely come into play.
So to be very direct, are you trying to tell me that you just saw your wife, which obviously she's an amazing person, but the point I'm making is you just saw her, you just knew this person is going to be my wife. Is that what you're saying?
Um,
Or it was a gradual process, or it was just like that?
among your friends, you are likely to find who you can marry. Among your friends, circle of friends, you are likely to find who to marry among your friends. Now, a new relationship, a lot of us, I mean, this wasn't my first relationship. My wife wasn't my first relationship, anyways. But I will tell you that the person you eventually marry is very likely to have some traits around those you've dated before.
Oh, really?
Similar traits. Because
How does that work?
for you to accept or to agree with yourself that I'm going to date this person, there is something that actually informed that decision.
Okay.
And by the time you look at the people you've dated, if you check and look into it closely, you're likely to find some similarities. Oh, okay. So those similarities are your yardstick in your relationships.
Okay.
Those things may change with time. Okay, I like people who are tall, short, who speak this way, who sound like this, who has this ideology that for some people it's not like that. They just, they are new every morning.
But for you, that was what worked for you.
That was, yes. So no formula works for all, like I would say. So I won't tell you if you want to have a blissful marriage, you must do this, you must do that. No, it's not. We are unique. My ideology is different from yours. The way I think is different from the way you think. The way I see life is different from the way you see life. So if I marry someone who doesn't see life or doesn't tend to see life the way I see it, we would have issues.
So I like this thing you said. So which one is better, to marry someone that you guys are more similar than different, or to marry someone that you guys are different, more different than similar? which works. Do you understand the question?
Yeah, sure. I will take you, I mean, some years back into my relationship. Like, um, I would say that I started getting into relationship quite late, or would I say early? Late is relative.
It is right.
Late is relative, yes. So at the time I started, my first relationship, it was just based on I needed someone to talk to, someone to share my mind, pour out my mind. I mean, be emotionally connected and stuff like that. But over time, I discovered that there's been a lot of differences here and there. Oh, we don't align on this. You know, time will tell that no, this is not what you're looking for.
So difference really shows what you're not looking for.
Most
I
times.
get you. I get you.
Most
I just
times.
wanted to state that fact.
Most
Continue.
times. Yes. And when I met my wife, but we didn't even date for so long. We both knew that we were connected. We had our similarities and we had our differences. My wife used to have this feminist ideology, which personally I do not exactly subscribe to as much. And we found a way to balance it.
Beautiful.
Whatever she meant by that ideology, she brought it on the table. And she brought something I do not exactly subscribe to. So definitely it's for me to start dissecting. Okay, this makes sense. So I'm not going to discard your ideology or
Totally,
100%, but
yes,
this, you need to look at this,
Yes.
explain. I mean, things shouldn't be done like this way, that way. You need to check this
I get
may
you.
affect this. So it's not exactly a bad ideology in its actual sense, but the way it's been coined, it's been
The way it's been presented,
modified
yeah.
and being presented,
Yeah.
like, come on, it doesn't make sense. But you can actually make sense out of no sense. Because when you spell no sense, this is nonsense, there is actually sense in it. So yeah, that's on the ideology side. Knowing who to marry or knowing who not to marry among your friends, like I said, you'll find who you can marry.
So okay, so beautifully, I'm sure you have really hit that a lot. But then, in terms of, I want to ask as a man, finance now. Tell me, brother to brother, what were the things? How did you discipline yourself? How did you prepare yourself? How did you know that? Okay, how did you know financially that you're ready?
Okay.
Because that's another thing. Because you're thinking, oh, I need to set this up. I need to have this. I need to have this. I need to have this. At what point do you tell yourself that, oh, guy, I think I'm financially ready to take on another responsibility that is not my own? Do you get my point?
So in this life, I will tell you, never say never. In terms of finance, I will come back to that. But again, I would like to give a bit of background and then come back to that financial aspect. So the trajectory of my life hasn't been that straightforward. It's been like waves. It's been a roller coaster, correct? So at some point, I sat down and said to myself, like, young man, if you keep going this way, you will end up where you don't want to be. So that was a turning point for me. If you ask my wife, she met me at such a time that I was financially down. The situation around my life at the time were not pleasant. And the question would be, what did you use for this woman? And you chose to say, how? Okay, so my wife saw the bigger picture from where I was. I would tell you that I wasn't even seeing anything beyond where I was at the time.
Wow.
And I will still attribute some of these things to God.
Obviously.
Because it got to a point in my life, I decided I wasn't, marriage is not worth it.
Wow.
I just gave up on the whole thing.
Wow.
But this person saw beyond what was happening at the time.
Wow.
If the situation around me were to be pleasant, I would say maybe she thought I was okay, I was settled, and you know, also the situation around the relationship at the time, even everything going well, wouldn't have been the way to go.
Oh, that's true.
So the place of God cannot be overemphasized in this whole relationship thing,
Mhm.
and your own inclinations as well. Your whatever your mind is telling you, sometimes you have to listen. Yeah. So financially,
Exactly.
when it comes to relationship, marriage relationship, you should be ready financially. You should be able to feed yourself, and maybe before then you can have a brother or a sister around you, and they are living comfortably around you. Because before my wife moved in, I had my siblings, some of my siblings around, you know, short visits, sometimes maybe for a few months. So I felt okay, I can conveniently take care of more than myself at this time.
Okay, those were the signs you were seeing.
Yes, I knew that okay. I had a place where I live, I had a roof over my head. I don't think I was wearing rags at the time.
Mhm.
I could conveniently afford to eat in the morning and manage to eat at night. So I don't go to bed hungry. So yeah. And somehow you are comfortable with yourself.
Mhm.
Mentally, I was somehow stable mentally, and spiritually, we keep growing every day.
Mhm.
Like I said, I'm a Christian, so there are some things that you just have to consider when making some
Of
decisions.
course.
And
But what were the things you considered? Because I want to figure out that part. As a Christian, what were the things? Don't forget, we have not finished our financial
yeah,
talk,
sure,
right?
sure.
But what are the things as a Christian and a man? What are the things that you had to consider? You know?
Well, I don't want to sound like some marriage counselors right now.
Yeah.
At first, something would actually draw someone close to you.
Mhm.
My wife, I found her very attractive to me. That's
Obviously, she's very attractive.
number one. So something must attract you to this person. And is she a believer?
Okay.
She's a Christian. Even before checking if she's a Christian, because a lot of people can pretend, I'm not that fanatic about, oh, this person must be this in church, must be that in church. Those things are good.
Okay.
But those were not exactly my own yardstick at the time. Check our background, family background, our career, professional background, inquire into our childhood. Is this person suffering from some kind of trauma that could somehow, sometime in the
Race,
future, just come up?
Mhm.
You are sure that those one, I mean, you can't be 100% sure, but a few things would inform your decision. Okay, this is the right way to go. And in the place of prayer, you can't miss it exactly. Yeah, you hear people say, I prayed, I fasted, I this, and for me, I'm still thanking God for the situation so far. It's been good all along.
So prayer made a pivotal role in your selection.
You need to ask my mother how much she prayed.
Wow.
And in fact, my wife would feel like sometimes it looks like you used voodoo on me. Because how come I like you just like that? Now tell her you don't know how much work went into changing my decision from saying I'm not getting married to just a few weeks after some WhatsApp post. I just go on WhatsApp things, rant, and just close the chapter, sleep. A few weeks after, we met, we spoke, and it felt like we've known each other for so long.
Wow.
So that's one thing. So if I tell you this was what I did, that was what I did, yeah, humanly speaking, you will say, but my own relationship was divine.
Oh, I see.
That's what I will tell you. That I know how to do this, I did this, I did that. It sounds to me like blabbing. But yet, in all of this, there are some common natural principles that you must apply.
I agree.
So I would speak more on those natural principles, but the whole orchestration,
Was good.
I think, is just divine.
That's wonderful. And at least just looking from outside, right? I can see that so far so good. You've had a very blissful marriage. I'm really really inspired just watching you and your wife and how you guys relate. It's wonderful. So, but let me go back to our financial parts, right?
Mhm.
I think I would ask some specific questions. Did you mentally tell yourself, okay, if I have 10 million naira, if I have 20 million naira, I can marry. If I have 50 million naira, if I have 100, did you have that kind of mentality, telling yourself that, okay, there's a specific benchmark I need to have financially, to say, okay, I'm ready? Because I'm sure the cost of all these things, the wedding is huge. The marriage itself is huge. So did you have like a ballpark figure? How would you say you prepared yourself for that part?
Well, okay. All right. I'm just trying to put words together
Okay.
because
That's
the
fine.
question somehow, if I keep talking, you're like, this guy is just a freaking fanatic. But not. At the time I met my wife, I wasn't at that,
Financial level.
I wasn't even thinking about marriage anymore.
Oh.
I was thinking about putting my life together again. But sometimes in life, situations happen, and the answer to those situations would be something off whatever you're thinking at that time. Was I financially stable at the time I met my wife? No, at all. But then, true wealth is not in how much you have in your bank account. True wealth is in the value you can create.
Wonderful.
Sometimes you see people who drive expensive cars, live in expensive houses, but they are so poor that all they've got is money.
They are so poor that all they've got is money.
There are some people, they have money in the bank account, but trust me, they are just that poor. Poverty is not exactly lack of money, it's a mindset.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So when you have the mindset of you are stable, you are okay, I think nature has a way of doing things and playing around how you think.
That's what the Bible says. The Bible says, as a man thinketh in his heart,
Yes,
so is he.
exactly.
Continue. I'm not being spiritual, by the way. So,
But you're a spiritual person, anyways.
but it's fine.
Yes. So really, I was telling myself, do you know what you're doing? What do you want to show this lady? This lady is not someone cheap in every aspect. How do you sell yourself to her? The only thing I won't tell you is how much I had in my bank account at the time.
But it was small.
Maybe if I bought a jean and a top,
That would have been
maybe
it.
I could only afford a jean and a top at the time. Maybe.
Wow.
I mean, a jean is even expensive. Maybe buying Ankara and cap. But if I tell you that, you won't believe it. And somehow I kept asking, was it my LinkedIn you check and you felt, oh, this person is this? If that was what you did, I sporty better. It's just synonymous to you going online and oh, then get that big ticket, start ticking because God, you know, is it because of the way I presented myself? What if I was a scammer and I just wanted to scam you? But then marriage itself was orchestrated by God. So you can't use the standards created by men to fit into an institution created by God.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey guys, hold on just a second before we jump back into this conversation. Let's take a moment to thank the sponsor who makes this whole episode possible, A Fit Hub Limited. Now, if you've ever looked in your closet and thought, wow, I could use an upgrade, well, Afith Hub heard you. These folks are doing something pretty remarkable. They're taking Africa's most beautiful indigenous fabrics, all that rich heritage, and they're turning it into perfectly tailored shirts, gowns, office wear, pieces that actually make you look like you tried, even on the days you definitely didn't. The quality? Fantastic. The designs? Clean, sharp, modern. It's African elegance meeting real-world practicality. Whether you're heading to work, an event, or just want to walk around looking like the best version of yourself, Fit Hub has you covered literally. And hey, because you're part of this podcast family, Fit Hub is giving you a 10% discount on your order. Just use the promo code OLIVE10 at checkout and tell them we sent you, because confidence looks good on you.
So the Bible said, walk and pray. So you do your own part. Who do you pray to?
God.
So you call him to come and do his own part. But once the bricklayer finishes his own part, you will call on the carpenter or the tiler or whoever to do their own part. But if you want to, if the bricklayer who is not trained to be a carpenter tries to be the one to, make the roof of the house, of course, you know what where that is driving to. So a lot of us try to do and be the part of God.
Oh. So that means there's a faith part in this whole thing. It's not just mental calculation and just saying, oh, if I get to this point, I will do this. I need to put this in place for me to arrange this. I don't know if I'm getting your point.
Yes. I mean, I don't know so many married people. I mean, what happens in their marriages as such. But for my parents, I can tell you they had a blissful marriage. They had it, had a roller coaster of emotions at some point, but I've always known them to be very happy. Living together. 46 years and counting now.
Wow.
Yeah. A number of them like that. I've seen 50 years plus, and they won't tell you anything different from what I'm saying now. There's a place of God. There are people who don't even believe in God, and yes, you would say they are still married, happily married. I don't know any, but I believe out there will be. So it depends on what works for your life. The strategy that works. If I claim to be a Nigerian and I decide to violate some Nigerian laws, in Nigeria on Nigerian soil, because there will be consequences.
Of course.
But those rules may not apply in another country.
Of course.
Maybe something I used to do when I was in other country, I come to do the same thing in Nigeria because it wasn't a sin in that other country, but here it will be a sin. So under the umbrella you are, if you claim to be a Christian or you claim to have a God who is this, you are playing within the jurisdiction of that system. So there are things you can do that you scale through, and there are things you should not do. So it depends. People operate in different jurisdictions in this life. So that's why it's always advisable for you not to compare yourself to anyone. You don't know the rule of engagement of the game they are playing. It could be different from your own. So no one formula works for all.
Wonderful, wonderful. But I like the fact that you said there were things you put in place for yourself.
Yes.
But there were things that you left for God.
Yes.
Because as a Christian, you pray and leave the rest for God to intervene. That was a wonderful point. So, but now looking forward, what are your projections? Have you been able to structure? Now you're a married man, responsibilities have come. You have ARA, you have a lot of things. So, what is your mentality? How do you project? As a married man, like what are the things you have put in place for that new step that you're in now?
Yeah, so I have this story I run with from a long time ago. When I was 10, there were people who I refer to as teenagers. I look up to those people. You take some learnings from those people. So when I became a teenager, I'm sure that I was exhibiting some of those traits from the people I was looking up to when I was 10.
Okay.
So I modeled some part of my teenage years after those people. Now, in my teenage years, there are some people you call them the youth from 20 and above. So in my 20s, I was living my life or modeled my life after some that I had seen in my teenage years that were in their 20s.
Obviously.
And then at those points, you keep seeing married people, because if you know where you're going, you definitely take a look at the people journeying around that region at a particular point. So that's why you find some people who are old today, when you tell them, I wonder what you look like in your old age. The people you look at right now, that they are old people, the chances are very high that when you become old, you are likely to start acting like those people. I like happy marriages. When I see one, I just love it. And, I've lived in an environment where the couples fight here and there, in my early years. And come on, I don't like this. So when I got into marriage itself, and I see that that thing I do not like those times are trying to come out, the next thing you tell yourself mentally, it's like a mental recording that has been there, and you are just playing the script at this time. Oh, I think you need to apply some wisdom. You need to be patient. Just allow this to slide first, then address it later. Try to de-escalate the situation now. And, so yeah, those are some of the things that actually informed my marital journey decisions. That is, decisions I took in the marriage. Now, considering that I have a child, I have a wife, I have a bigger family now, because once you marry, your family becomes bigger.
Of course.
You have your own family where you're coming from. You have your own family you are creating, and you have inherited another family. Same thing applies to your partner.
Yes.
So we need to balance things, I'm very close to my wife's family. To God be the glory. And they are cool and lovely people as well. In fact, my father-in-law accepts me like his own son.
And
There's
your wife's
nothing-
mom is amazing.
You met her.
She's a very lovely woman.
I mean, that's some answered prayers.
I'm telling you,
I've always
yes, ma'am.
wanted that
Yes.
right from time.
Yes.
So sometimes the things you want, mentally, you picture those things. Do I call it the universe, or God brings those things your
It's
way?
God.
You just find yourself living in that reality.
It's
Like,
God.
oh, okay. And yes, I'm making this video in 2025. And I'm sure that in 25 years' time, I will look back and like, oh, wow, I'm still sharing the same testimony.
Yes, of course.
50 years from now, oh, wow,
Of course.
still sharing the same testimony. How it has been good all the while.
Wonderful. 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 So one last question before we wrap it up. By the way, thank you. Thank you for taking out the time to have this conversation with me. You work in the tech space, right?
Yes, sir.
So how's it been in the tech space for you, and what do you think would be the future of AI, going forward, with the rapid explosion in AI structures, AI facilities, AI models and everything? Do you think, I don't know if you heard of the recent stories where people have been talking about AI being involved in pornographic activities, and also the increase in the rate of depression, especially with people in the West. So what do you think, being an expert, obviously, an expert in that space, what do you think is the likely projection of the AI space?
I think AI is just a branch of tech at this time.
Okay.
There was the industrial revolution era, then technology took over, AI is taking over, synthetic intelligence coming in, and every other thing in between. So the way I look at things, in 2011, I was sharing with a group of friends. 2011, I was still in school, Salem University at the time. And we shared what the future looks like. Oh, we're studying information technology, computer science. What is in it for us? Oh, yeah, people are writing programs. Programmers are, making things, IT, animation, and all of those things. Then I just said it casually. A time will come, we don't exactly have to start coding, typing codes. Then I wrote 3,000 lines of code. I wrote 5,000 lines of code. That's your bragging right.
Wow.
And I was sharing at the time. A time will come, computers will be so intelligent that they will be coding
for you.
By themselves. Yeah. Just tell them, this is what I want. This is how I want it. My brother, today, there are numerous, in fact, AI is in their thousands. You don't have to pass through the four walls of the university to study computer science for you to design a beautiful website. Just put your idea, learn that language. Please. The language you know how to speak today is an advantage for you. Bring something out with that language, key it in there. The systems are there.
It will create the website
for you in seconds.
Wow.
Okay, let's say in minutes.
I want to, hinge back on that point where you said computers are now thinking on their own. That means we are in the age of iRobot and Robocop and all those things.
Whatever happens today, someone made it work. I will take you back again to the Bible. God said, let's make man in our own image, after our own likeness. The likeness is not just after looks.
Okay.
It's not just in the physical look. So I have a theory I personally run with, and that theory is that the early men lived longer and they had physical strength. But the men of these days, they don't live as long as the men in the early days, and they have less physical strength, but more intellectual, mental strength. Same thing applies to computers. The first set of computers were huge, gigantic, big, doing less reasoning. But this day and age, you can find the computer as small as this ring, being the unthinkable. So where I see the future, taking it after God. God is a creator. So men have also become creators. Men are now creating things because this was God's whole ideology. Let's make man in our own image after our own likeness. That is, men can actually call things that be not
Into existence.
into existence. The literal sense of it, computers and okay, I would say humans, we grow to actually start spawning things. When I say spawn, calling things to be. Oh, this is a space. Let there be a stool here.
Is that where the whole virtual reality thing is heading to?
This is my own ideology. I'm not saying this is what I think the future holds.
Oh, okay.
Let there be a stool here. Let there be a rock there. The systems that will make those things be are already in place, and they will come in form of computers.
Wow.
Oh, this car is a Toyota.
Would you say that is safe? That's my own thinking. Do you think we'll get to a point where these things that we have created will be the destruction of us ourselves? Will they get to a point? Because when you said computers now are now thinking for themselves, it was a huge
based on
shocker.
algorithms.
So their thinking is a function of whoever imputed the codes of algorithm in them.
You just mentioned that some AIs actually generate pornographic images.
Yes.
I don't think some of the conventional AIs that we know, GPT, ChatGPT, Cloud, will be doing that right now. I mean, as at now, as much as I am aware. So there's been some controls around those.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there are other AI tools that could be programmed for those specific reasons. There are creators behind those ones as well. All right?
Okay.
If you go online, there are some websites that are pornographic websites. And there are some websites that are, news websites. You are not likely, except due to hacking, malicious hacking and all, for you to now see pornographic content on a news website.
Okay.
So there are different creators. All right. So, and there are regulations behind every other thing that we see, especially in the tech space. But I'm taking it to the extreme. That where do you see these things? If the witches and wizards could actually call someone from the grave, computers would be so powerful to be doing the same thing.
You think so? Wow.
I believe so. I won't say I know so, but I believe so. That computers will be so smart, so advanced, or not just computers, technology will be so advanced that it will get to some levels that, Bible already said, the Bible said, in the last days, the knowledge of man will multiply. What are we seeing today?
I don't know whether to say I'm scared. No, not scared in terms of like fear, but I'm worried for the human race in
You
general.
shouldn't be worried.
Really? Because you know why I'm saying that? It would bring us to another point where I like to think about the morality of AI. Now, Russell, let me explain what I mean.
Mhm.
Now, you and I know that at least the general computer intelligence is whatever you put on a code, that's what it would bring out for you. So the output of the AI is a function of the code that is being imputed into it. Am I correct?
Yeah, like garbage in, garbage out.
Like garbage in, garbage
It's no longer garbage in,
Now,
garbage out.
but the point I'm even making is, for example, if if there is a program code to give information, let's just say, let's use Wikipedia now or ChatGPT now. Whatever information you are getting from ChatGPT is a function of the code or the data that's been inputted into it, of which that data and that code can be corrupted. Because if, for example, if the real essence of, let's use a general ideology of Jesus Christ is God, for example, but now you now have people that program in a different information or a different data to represent that idea or that terminology. That's what people will receive. I don't know if you get the parts I'm coming from. So it now boils down to the morality of AI and who has the right to tell people what to believe and what not to believe. Because anyhow you see it, the person that is reading it is receiving that information, and that is forming their belief system. You and I were, at least I will speak for myself, I was in an age where most of our information was gotten from Google. Most of our information was gotten from Wikipedia. So you have an assignment, for example, you go on Wikipedia to search for it. But who are the people that are putting that information? How do we verify the information that is being put? Everybody just assumes that Wikipedia is always right. Google is always right. Do you understand? As that's why I don't know if you get.
I understand you 100%.
That's why I'm really worried about this whole continuous rise of technology as opposed to, the traditional way of getting information. So I don't know what's your take on this whole.
Before technology came to address some of these concerns, some pastors will preach to you, this is how you should do, that is how you should do. As humans, some other persons will come and tell you a different thing. It's now left to you to believe, to know which one to believe. Some people will leave you confused more than they met you. So this has always been a challenge over the years. Okay, for instance, you grew up in Port Harcourt, I believe.
Yes, I did.
I grew up in Ilori. Before internet became a thing, in the late 90s in Nigeria here, there was this hoax that was flying around that there was a time Nigeria played India and the score line was 99-0. Did you hear it?
I heard it.
Which website? From which website?
That's the one of the ghosts.
The ball became the lion's head. We heard the same story. We didn't have the same child. We had it hundreds of kilometers away. I mean, who concocted that thing? How did it spread?
And how was it able to spread?
Yes. So there was no website to fact check that stuff. We all heard it mouth to mouth, word of mouth. This person shared it, that it kept spreading until it spread across. Meet someone from Maiduguri, they know the same story. Meet someone from Lagos, they heard the same story. Someone in Benue is aware of that same story. Someone in Abuja heard the same story about this whole thing that never happened. If it happened at any point, it would have been, oh yes, this happened, it's the truth. But this was just something that someone concocted and it became fact.
Okay.
So if you're worried about the human race based on what AI would generate, based on my interaction with AI today, AI would tailor whatever information it's giving you based on the prompt.
Okay.
If you're a Christian and you ask the AI, whichever one, a specific question, the response will be toned or coined based on how you asked.
But that response being coined is a function of the data or the program or the programming that the programmer has put now. Am I correct?
I won't say there's a programmer that has programmed AI. AI is actually giving information based on available data. There's been a lot of collection of data over the years, that AI is actually, AI cannot just sit down and think this is what it is. So based on available data, it will give you the information. So AI doesn't create those information. In fact, some AI will give you references. I got this information from this place, from that place. So you can fact check that.
Shekiz, the expert mix.
Working with Shekiz Baba is like icing on the cake. He is jovial and serious. He is patient. He just knows how to, dig deep to bring out the best in you. And when he takes up a project for you, he marries it like it's his wife. He doesn't just want to do something shabby because his reputation is on the line, but he gives it his all, and he's a very wonderful person to work with. And if you ever want to do something and you want your raw talent and creativity to be brought to the limelight, I suggest you look for Shekiz. He's the best.
Yeah, so where I see the future of technology, computing, it's not going to be limited to artificial intelligence.
Okay.
I think it will be actual intelligence and it will generate to supernatural intelligence.
Oh, wow.
That's how I see it. I don't know if it's going to be in 1,000 years. And then by the time you try to shut down anything, what does it do? Okay, as a programmer, when you try to close something,
Okay.
you call it destroy.
Destroy.
Yeah, that's the keyword
Mm-hmm.
we use. That this dot destroy. That is end. So destroy doesn't mean damage, but just shut it down
Mm-hmm.
and so on. So yeah, at the end of everything, at the very tail end of everything, destroy.
I get your point. So, but I think just to wrap up everything we've said, I feel when it comes to AI, I feel God would still have supreme control of everything. And he's, since at the top of everything, as you said, he's the creator of everything. He's the creator of even the idea to which we've used to, have all these systems and AI algorithms and everything. So he still has control and master influence over these things. So nothing takes him by surprise. Do you think? That?
Yeah, I subscribe to that. But whatever you are seeing in AI today is still minute to what is to come. And that is the least of God's worry at this point.
I agree.
I mean, if you know how big God is, AI is nothing to shift God from his seat. Whatever is to come is bigger than whatever it is we are seeing in 2025. Trust me, humans will be so powerful to the extent, what goes around comes around. When humans became so powerful in the first days, they built a tower and they said, we'll build a tower that will get to heaven. And God saw the determination in their hearts. And was like, if I leave these people, they will actually achieve this. There were no cranes. I didn't live in that era. I don't know if there were more advanced technology than now that they were using at those times. But now, this is an advancement. And the way I think about these things, some of these things have even happened before. That were just somehow wiped off. So whatever is happening now is not even strange to the Supreme Maker.
So he would always be in the center of everything.
Yeah. If God can call those things that be not into existence, let there be fishes, let there be plants. Sometimes you'll see an insect, and you'll be like, how did God just creates this one, designed this
By
one.
His word. What is the technology behind that?
That was the prompt. That was
I agree with you. By His word.
It's supernatural
What
intelligence.
technology is bigger than that?
Supernatural intelligence.
Just
Just brought those things into existence.
I agree with you.
Go on the AI, design an insect you want. Tell it to design an insect. It will. But you can only see it on your screen.
Mm-hmm.
But the time will come, you will see it live, physical. Like, can you create a version of me to think like me? So that when I die, that one will be alive. So just think about it. And once you can think it,
And already there's a lot of activities going on in the whole cloning technology thing that's
those are old news.
those are all things. I mean, so you can imagine what it would be like in the next 20 to 15 to 5 years, from now.
5 to 10 years, 20 to 50 years.
20 is even too far.
A long time.
You see. So yeah, so thank you. Just to wrap this up, you have been a huge encouragement. This is our first podcast on this new series, and I want to really appreciate you, brother, for taking out the time to be a part of this.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you for being a part of the journey. Thank you so much, brother.
You're welcome.